New videos every day.
Life, wisdom.
Psychetruth, massage.
This is Athena Jezik, and I'm going to work a little bit on the neck and upper chest today with Grant. I'm also curious to find out, there's quite a cross-section out there of people who view these videos, and I'm interested to find out if you're a massage therapist, a body worker, a medical person, if you're just interested in helping your friends, getting clues to that, or if you just want to turn them on and go to sleep. That's another thing. That's an option. Just let me know, if you would, in the comment section. I'm curious more than anything about who all is watching. I do get a number of emails. A lot of you are therapists, and a lot of you do have questions about where to find therapists, and I'm hoping I can and have been of help to those of you that have written looking for people in your area. So let me know about that. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. So I'm just starting out here, just getting underneath the shoulders and doing a little bit of rocking with the fingers. It's not like a Traeger rocking or shaking, it's just softening up the muscles. And checking the range of motion with the neck. Okay. And you can check the shoulders. A lot of times what's happening with the shoulders is they're going to round forward. And if that happens, the scapula needs to be pulled down behind so the shoulder can come up, so that there's not that roundedness. That happens a lot from sitting at computers, bending over. It's pretty much of a human issue. Okay, and then we'll put a little oil on. I'm going to just put a little bit up here on the upper shoulder. I don't really work much with massage therapy anymore. I do more cranial and lymphatic work. So if you are in Austin, some of you are in Austin and you really want a massage, I probably won't schedule for that because I do not really do massage therapy in my practice anymore. I do help people to learn it, but I just have chosen not to really do much massage. So I'm just getting a little deeper into the neck rotations, finding out if there's any hang-ups in the neck, if there's any vertebrae that might be misplaced a little bit. And again, I take my fingers up the back of the neck and glide it up to the occipital base, just feeling a lengthening there. And it's close to the spine. And then to do a little bit of lymph drainage here, just to check. There's so much congestion going on with this weather in our area, where it's hot one day and cold one day. There seem to be a lot of pollen. There's a lot of chemtrail spraying, so people are, I've noticed lately, a lot of lymph is a little congested in a number of people because it's working so hard to keep the toxins moving out of the body. So here I'm just doing a little lymphatic work on the neck chain to make sure that if there's any fluid there that's slowing the system down, can be opened up. there is a little bit of congestion. Okay, and then along the clavicles with massage here. And we can go around the shoulder. Like I say, this is just more of a neck and upper chest, upper back. Now I can go into the pectoralis muscle. Sometimes that's very ticklish. You can just pick it up like so and knead it a little bit. Now here's where the muscles of men are a little stronger. They do a lot more work with their upper body. Their shoulder girdle is larger than a female's, as most all of you know. So that's where the muscles are going to be a little different, but it's still basically the same. And then we'll go over here and do the same thing, getting around the shoulder. Out through there and up through the deltoid. Back through the trapezius. And then into the pectoralis. It's sometimes easier to come from the top down. And the reason I say that is you have more fingers behind it. You can come up this way with your thumb as well. You can go a little deeper with that thumb, but you want to be careful because sometimes the thumb will feel like you're poking a hole in them. But you can also get very deep under here with just the fingers as well. If you know how to work your hands properly, you can get just as deep. And you have more surface than just the thumb. So it's just a personal thing, whatever feels best, and that you're not gouging out the person on the table. Now along the sternum is got some attachments from the pectoralis, and it's an area that doesn't get worked that much. But what I like to do with the sternum is just go across it. You can feel ribs there, and you want to go in between the ribs, right along here where the sternum and the ribs are connecting in, and just you can take it all the way out if you want to get into that. This can be done a little bit on females too, but usually it's not. And go all the way to the bottom of the sternum. Now there's a little structure right in this area, how the ribs come up. There's a little structure right there. It's called the xiphoid process. You don't ever want to push on that very hard. In fact, just stay away from it. It's a little loose bone, and you just want to stay away from it. So if you're going to be doing this and you get down here at the bottom of the ribs, just know that you're going to take it out on the last rib, but you're not going to dig yourself into that area. You can take a look in an anatomy book and see what I'm talking about, but just realize that there are places on the body that you have to be very careful, and that's one of them. So there's that, and then the same thing can go on the other side. I can work it from here, working the fingers inside the rib cage, between the ribs, I should say. You're not really inside the rib cage, but. And on men, you go around the breast area. You don't necessarily work across there. You can work differently than on a woman, but it's one place where it is a little different. And it feels real good to get these muscles through here opened up, because they oftentimes are tighter than you'd think. And working it up through here. So in a way, this is kind of like working the back. And then you can take it very carefully, though, because you're going to feel ribs just down the sternum and then back up when you're well above that xiphoid process. we go. Okay, now coming up into the neck. I really like working necks better face up than face down. And that's because you can turn that head as far as you can, and you can get right under the occipital base next to the vertebrae and work the neck this way. And again, you're putting some pressure in, but you're not gouging people. If you can develop your hands to be real sensitive to how much pressure they need, you'll be doing yourself and your clients a much better service. Then same thing on the other side. And then, of course, the favorite is the occipital base release, which is a cranial hold going right under. Be sure that you're not on the bone itself. You find the bone, get your pads of your hand under. You can probably see it better because Karina's hair is usually over my hands. You get those fingers underneath here, find that bone and slip right off of it and behind it. But be sure that the vertebrae is in the middle of the fingers. You're not pushing on the vertebrae. You're not at the center of the vertebrae. You're just on either side of the vertebrae, right at the very bottom edge of the occiput of the skull. And you just lift up that head. And you don't push the head up. You just lift it and let it sit like it's gravity. Gravity is taking it down. Sometimes you have to adjust it a little bit. And what I'm feeling here from this position is that he's tighter on the left. And so you want to keep those fingers pointing toward the eyes and let that head just fall back. And then it's nice to take your fingers and join them right on either side of the spine and follow along that crest of the occiput. Then what's nice to do is to take your fingers right across the edge of the bone and lengthen it out, just to stretch it, but without a whole lot of pressure either. It's a nice stretch. That's now in the front part of the neck. I do mostly cranial work, but you can get into this sternocleidomastoid a little bit, which is the muscle that's connecting here. But there's so many veins underneath there that if you're going to do on there, you want to go very, very lightly and down the muscle and back up. You can get into the scalenes and some of these other neck muscles, but again, there's so many delicate structures in the neck that you don't really want to go with a lot of force, and you really want to know what you're doing on the neck when you start to get, especially on the front part of the neck. And if you exercise caution and all of that, then you're going to be okay. So we'll just check this. And then, of course, with the upper body, too, you can check the arms. And a lot of times if they shake well, the shoulders are pretty well open. And that's something you can do. And there's something else I'll show from the other side because I think it'll show better. If the shoulders are rounding a lot, you can take your hand, I always take it underneath, and go right underneath to the scapula and work the shoulder from the scapula like this and pull it down and back or up. So you can also do some scapula shoulder work from there. And then shake out the arm and set that down. And then just do a little brushing off, like just because you're finished. And there we are. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know why you're watching, how I'm helping you to expand yourself. And you can visit my website at acranio.com or athenajezikmassage.com. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.